welcome. This is our third military signing day. We do have some special guests that are part of this, and I'll introduce them here in a bit. But we have 6 future soldiers. I'm not going to talk about them. The recruiters are going to talk about them, or Mr. Sergeant Harris, if you want to get up and talk about Watkins when he stands, that's fine too. And then we have some veterans that are going to participate in this ceremony. Mr. Paul Reeves will give the oath of enlistment for both the Guardsman soldier and then the soldiers who are in the active duty, going into the active duty or are already in the reserves, U.S. Army Reserves. 2 different types of oaths of enlistment. So what you'll witness today is, it's not a reenactment, it's a reaffirmation of what they have already done, because they've already signed contract. It's up in Nashville, and sometimes families are not able to attend that, especially during a time of COVID. Hopefully that time has passed, and it won't raise up again to the level it has in the past. I didn't introduce myself, sorry. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Retired Michael Snyder, and I'm the Senior Army Instructor for the JROTC program, along with my counterpart, Sergeant First Class Retired Scott Reeves. They are not all. Mr. Flores is not in JROTC. He'll regret that more and more, because he'll get less pay than everybody else to his right, and the other 2 that will sit to his left if they get here in time. And those other 2 is Miss Lubiana and Mr. Palacios. But you'll hear more about that from the recruiters. And first, do you want to do National Guard first, buy you some time? Yeah. Okay, so Specialist Williamson.
So today we got Quincy Watkins, our first class Quincy Watkins. I've worked with him on multiple occasions during our drills. He's definitely demonstrated what it's like to be a leader. He's definitely very disciplined, and he's pretty much over the whole green phase that we got with our RSP program. But other than that, I'm very glad to have him in our organization. He's definitely going to be a valuable asset to us. And he's part of my original MOS, so I can tell him everything we got to look forward to. And other than that, man, on with the team.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Staff Sergeant Perez. I'm an Army recruiter for the active duty and the reserve side. And we got a couple of them coming in. So I'm going to start off with GFC John Jimenez. So John was actually one of the first people I put in the Army. I actually put him in probably about 3 weeks after I got to the station. He actually joined as a junior, which not a whole lot of juniors do, but he came and he told me, he's like, hey, Sergeant Perez, I want to join the Army. I want to go to basic training this summer. That's exactly what he did, which is why he's wearing this uniform, because he actually went to basic training last summer. He's completed his senior year, and now he'll be going off to his job-specific training. He is a fantastic ROTC cadet, and he's going to make a fantastic soldier. And I've really enjoyed seeing him grow over this last year. So congrats, John. I look forward to seeing how your career goes. Now next is Private Murphy. So Owen, I thought that he was going to end up going Air Force. Because one of the first conversations we had, he said he was interested in the Air Force Academy, which I don't like to push. So I was like, okay, that's cool. At least you have a plan. Do what you got to do. And then he messaged me on Instagram probably about 2 weeks later. He's like, hey, can I come talk to you about the Army? So a couple weeks later, he's in the Army. He's going to be an aviation operations specialist, and he's also going to basic training as a junior. So congrats, Owen. Look forward to seeing how your career goes. Next is actually the newest future soldier for our station, Avia Flores. Like the Colonel said, he's not actually in the ROTC, but he has made the decision to serve his country. He actually enlisted on Wednesday, so he's brand new, and he'll be shipping out next one. Excited. You too. Good luck. So around the same time that I met PFC Jimenez, I met Carlos. So me and him have been talking for over a year. He's expressed interest. He's very mechanically inclined, and he actually has one of the highest mechanical scores on the ASVAB that I've seen since I've been here. And he's going to go off and work on helicopters. So congratulations to you. Look forward to seeing where your career goes. Finally, come on up, Jennifer. So Jennifer is not actually one of my future soldiers. She's actually Sergeant Jackson, because Sergeant Jackson couldn't be here. But I've known Jennifer for well over a year. She's a great cadet. She's going to make a great addition to the team, and she has a great job. She actually had the job that PFC Jimenez wanted, so good for you. Congrats.
Okay, so it's a reaffirmation of the oath of office. The oath never goes away. You do it, but it never goes away. It exists because you raise your hand, and then you live it day in, day out. So you're going to hear, I'm sorry, the oath of enlistment. It's an office. The oath of enlistment. So I thought it was important that we brought veterans who have lived it, and I call it passing the torch. So we have 3 veterans here. Mr. Willie Miller, and I'm going to give him an opportunity to say a few words because he's unique and he is a Decatoran through and through. Will you say a few words about you and your brothers?
Hello, I'm Willie Miller. I served in the Army for 2 tours in Vietnam, and me and my brothers are a very big group. It's 5 of us, 3 Marines and 2 Army. We all served in Vietnam from 1966 to 1972. One of us was in Vietnam. 2 years ago, we received the Holly Murphy Patriotism Award. And I'd like to commend you all for joining the military. And I know I probably get knocked down, but I feel that every kid, when they turn 18, should be mandatory that you do 2 years of military and then you go to school. Because today we have so many kids on the street that are not doing anything but wasting their lives away. And so that's how I feel. I know your parents probably don't feel the same, but hey, we got to keep this country safe. And thank you all for your time.
You want to say a few words now, right before you do the oath? Okay, so now I'm going to highlight who is doing our oath of enlistment. Right, the requirement to give the oath of enlistment, you had to have been a commissioned officer. And Lieutenant Colonel retired Paul Reeves is both enlisted to the rank of Sergeant Major with a battlefield commission in Korea, correct? Vietnam. Korea? Korea. So Korea, Vietnam, veteran, and he's like 0.05% have received a commission by battlefield. Most of it is through ROTC, OCS, or one of the United States Military Academy. It could be the other academies. And so it's very rare that you get a battlefield commission. I venture to say there's maybe about 200 living. He is 7.5 years from 100. So you can do the math. Agile, ready to do an oath of enlistment of our future soldiers. You are ready, but you're still got to complete the requirements. So it's a great honor to have you here to do that oath of enlistment. My generation, their generation are standing, have stood on your shoulders. We thank you for all of your service. So next, welcome you to 10 minutes down, come up and get ready to do the oath.
I hereby acknowledge
I hereby acknowledge
that voluntarily enlisted
you have voluntarily enlisted
in the United States Army National Guard,
United States Army National Guard,
state of Alabama,
State of Alabama,
for a period of 6 years,
for a period of 6 years,
under the conditions prescribed by law,
under conditions prescribed by law,
unless sooner discharged
unless no discharge
by proper authority.
by proper authority. I, Mr. Martin,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support,
that I will support
defend the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Alabama
and of the state of Alabama
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to them,
to them,
that I will obey
that I will obey
the orders of the President of the United States
the orders of the President of the United States,
and the Governor of the state of Alabama,
the Governor of the state of Alabama,
and the orders of the officers appointed over,
and the orders of the officers appointed over,
according to law and regulation.
according to law and regulation.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I was fortunate to join the Army Corps of Engineers. I was a combat engineer my entire career. Unless I was an advisor. I advised the National Guard, Reserve, Montgomery, and I advised the Koreans while I was there in Vietnam. It's an honor to be here today to welcome these five people in the United States Army. So, I will say aye. And this is your name. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations. Congratulations. You know, more than welcome to join the United States Army, and we're happy to have you with us.
It's a simple ceremony, but it is profound because of the oath that they have swore by or affirmed by. But more importantly, now's the hard part. Don't take those words idly, because now you're going to live by that oath. Sometimes you don't get to say, I don't want to go, but the officer appointed you. Say you go, you go. And like I told Griffin Alexander, when the officer, the NCO in charge of you, says jump, you say, how high? And then when you get to Sergeant Harris's rank, he's going to say, I want you to jump this high, this many times. Because the officer said, we need basketball players to do well on the team. About right? Simplistic way of putting it. All right, so I'm excited to see you accomplish your goals. Tough day yesterday, and I have something, Quincy, you already have it, that Mr. Mills wore because He did what was right in the middle of a combat zone for some French young lady getting her mother out of harm's way. That French young lady went and saw her local priest, explained what had occurred, and she found him in the middle of the night the next day, 9 o'clock at night. There was some French lady asking for Sergeant George Mills. And he gave her, she gave him a St. Michael's pendant. She's Catholic and got it blessed by the priest. He carried that all through combat. So this little St. Michael's fan is on behalf of him. Here we have one. So, remember him and slay the dragons in front of you. That's what he's doing on that little pin. Accomplish your goals. Jump as high as you need to, or